So this is day 16 of Wiplish lessons and me changing the English language until I'm sponsored by Mountain Dew. And I've realized that I have failed to do something that basically every single class that I had in my education seemed to have to do for when I was attending school. And I mean, like, if you didn't go to one of these prestigious universities like the University of Minnesota, you really might have been missing out on some of this unheard of knowledge. And that is the definition of culture. And culture is the word that we're going to be changing today. And basically for the reason that I'm laying out is because I have been taught the definition of culture so many times it blows my mind. Elementary school, I think I was taught it. Middle school, I think I was taught it. High school, yep. College, I know I was. And it's kind of crazy to me that it was taught at every level with the same definition every single time. There was never anything different, never anything that was more hard to comprehend, and it was never hard to comprehend. You're in 5th grade, 2nd grade, whenever you learn it first, you're like, oh, culture, so it's that stuff? Oh yeah, I get that. It's pretty intuitive. And before I get off of the topic of everything having to be taught over and over again, even as you go up in higher levels, and how people seem to think that it's impossible to retain any sense of knowledge. Like I said, I probably got taught the definition of culture maybe 10 times throughout college, when I had already been taught it probably 10 times previous. And then that never stopped throughout my college experience. It's like courses just kept teaching the same thing over and over again. I don't know how many of you have gone through college, but if you've gone through business school, you've probably been taught Porter's 5 forces like 100 times. It's absurd. And then also, I'm going to show you an actual slide from my very last course in college. This is to graduate with my marketing degree. It's the last marketing course I ever took. This is a real slide from that. What is a product? And it wasn't weird to see that. Like, this is what most slides were like at that point almost. And that's what they're showing me after not 4 years of life, but 4 years of marketing education in college. Like, how they don't think I know that already is beyond me. And that's what college is like right now. I don't know. It's hard for me to endorse it. Anyway, on to what we're actually talking about, which is culture, and what I will be changing it to, which is into a co-flow. The reasoning for into a co-flow is pretty simple. It's very intuitive what culture really is. People have a sense of it without having to actually spell it out. You just kind of observe and absorb what culture is. So needing a definition for it is almost unnecessary at times, and having to reiterate that 10 plus times throughout someone's education is absurd. The next part is co, because it's usually based off of communities, and that's really the core of culture. It's built around communities. And then we have flow to end it all off, because it's just the flow of how communities interact and how things kind of naturally work out and what their state of being is. So into a co-flow, I think, is a very good fit for what culture really is. There isn't a whole lot wrong with culture as a word. Maybe getting rid of the cult prefix is probably good, because cults have a bit of a negative connotation to them on their own. But really, it didn't need a huge change. But I'm just so annoyed with how many times it has been tossed at me with the same old definition that, like, I'm like, all right, just get this thing out of here. That word's tainted for me. We got to change it to something else. So into a co-flow is what we're going with. It's pretty fun to say too. I'm really genuinely hoping everyone that watched this video attended the great University of Minnesota so they can understand even what culture is. If you did not do that, I would definitely recommend spending tens of thousands of dollars every semester just to accrue that knowledge that you definitely couldn't get anywhere else. Now let's move on to our comment of the day. And I'm picking this one from Bryson, not really because it was good, but because I want you guys to feel the same confusion I felt going through this. I'm going to read through it once, not going to analyze it too much because it melted my mind. So he said, "One time I didn't place my drink on the vent bee, and the water that ran off my drink went into my grandfather's ashes and ruined them. Then my cat, Big Daddy, thought it would be a good idea to poop in the ashes because he thought it was kitty litter. Then to make it even worse, my cat, Big Poppy, wanted to mate with Big Daddy, so they had a baby on the ashes." And then a big time frowny face. And this is what I'm going to give Bryson for this.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
That being said, 12.2 out of 15. Now for the song of the day, we have Leave by Post Malone. And this is a gorgeous, sad, flowing song from Post's first album, which is probably my favorite, Stoney. And I really appreciate this song. Then, for the video of the day, we have another musical option, but it's a little bit different. We've got I'm a Flamingo Live by Marc Rebillet, and this is just chaos and creativity and pure combat, which is probably a good way to categorize most of Marc Rebillet's music. And he's just an awesome performer, entertainer, and guy, so we're showing our respects to him for the video of the day.
Nothing threatening here, I'm just a flamingo. I'm a flamingo and I'm coming up to you. Oh, is that your child? I'ma rip out his motherfucking eyeball. I'm gonna rip out his goddamn eyeball.
That's it for the video. Bonus thing to comment on is what is the most ridiculous thing a teacher has decided they need to explain to you? Let me know. Peace out.